You're not going to believe how difficult it is to make a video around here, okay? I get no rest from the animals, phones. I mean, it's just crazy. I was just in there trying to do this video, and my 200-pound dog chewed up a $50 packet of strings. Just chewed them up right in front of me for no reason. Can't get no rest. Can't get nothing on. This is where I'm at to get any peace and quiet. This is my office. This is the only place I can be to get any peace and quiet. Because it don't happen nowhere. Anyway. So I want to talk about DNA today. Y'all know my wife is a mortician. You know, she's very good at what she does, and her way of getting a break is she watches those murder, death, kill shows. You know, the 48 Hours and Forensic Files. And there's one thing I found out about those shows. If you hear country music, somebody's dying directly. Excuse me. Anyway, so what I've been watching lately is these cold case shows about DNA and stuff. I'm thinking, wow, DNA is awesome. You know, if you have someone that, if I had somebody in my family, I've done a lot of bad stuff in my life, okay, a lot of rude shit. I ain't never hurt no women. And I don't know where anybody can get that, but there's people out there that can't help it. You almost can't be, I mean, of course you'd be pissed off, but they can't help it. These people killing people, raping people, I guess they just have that in them to where they can't help it. So I was watching this show today, and this guy named Michael Gargiulo. I know a comedian named Rob Gargiulo. And it's a strange name. You wouldn't think there'd be many people with that name. He don't really like me, though, for some reason. I don't know why. We kind of started out in the same place. I don't give a shit. Anyway, so this guy killed women in Chicago, L.A., all over the place. And wasn't a bad-looking guy. He was, you know, like any other normal dude. And he wasn't raping these women. He was just stabbing them and killing them, just sneaking in and killing them. And, man, watching this show, man, I got choked up a couple times, you know, watching their family talk. It was a horrible thing. So they were talking about the DNA evidence, about how that solved the case. I'm trying to make the lighting better. I'm sorry. I'm learning a lot about my lack of camera skills. So they had the DNA for this guy, and he had absolutely he did this. Okay, this is true. They finally got him. And I was thinking, man, that's such a great thing for DNA. So I started kind of looking it up, like 23andMe and all that. DNA ain't so great, okay? And it ain't so reliable either. And I'm not even talking about the police right now. They'll get in this later. I don't trust the police either. And I don't trust them for good reasons, and they've earned that. But it turns out there's this one woman named Missy Woods, Yvonne Missy Woods. She was a corrupt DNA analyst, and she is facing over 100 felonies for falsifying DNA records and DNA results, excuse me. And from what I can gather, she was being paid off by cops. That shows you how honest the cops are. You'd figure they'd want to put the right guy in jail. They don't. They just want the collar. They don't care about the right guy. They just want the arrest and the conviction. So she got addicted to drugs, I reckon, or something bad. She'd never been a druggie, never been a drinker. And then she manipulated all these cases. She's not the only one. I looked it up. There's other ones too that the cops paid them to manipulate the DNA. And I thought, well, you know, this is just a one-off. There's a lot of it. A lot of it. There's many, many people in this country who are in jail who don't belong there because of the DNA research wasn't done. It might have been done properly, but it was manipulated. Also, I started reading about how these people are going to 23andMe and Parabon and all these other places just to do what they do is they get their DNA done and they get the results and then they upload it on these sites. Why would you do that? You know, I guess it's just me being a jerk, but I'd like to know who I'm related to. My dad was married 5 times. He's from all over the place. We found out shit about my dad after he passed away that we didn't even know. So I can understand wanting to know stuff. They uploaded this stuff. I read at least a dozen different stories of people finding out their dad wasn't their dad, their mom wasn't their mom, their sisters weren't totally 100% kin to them. Back in the day, it seems like a lot of people were selling babies. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you could go to like a yard sale and buy one, but there was a lot. I mean, in this DNA thing I read about the people finding their relatives, every other one said that so and so had a baby in the 30s and they gave it away, or so and so had a baby in the 40s with someone they shouldn't have, so they sold the baby to the neighbors. How do you put a bid in on that? I'll take the tractor for 300, and I like all the tools you got there. How about 1,500 for the baby? 14, 16? How do you do that? It's just crazy. And then they had another one where the DNA showed that someone in their family was horrible. Like they'd show one of them had a DNA where this guy had been a rapist. He raped the girl's mother and her roommate. They both had his kids. They didn't know this till later, till they uploaded their DNA on the site, and then they found out. And just horrible stuff. I guess that's the risk you run with wanting to have knowledge. I mean, I understand that. I totally do. I just don't I don't trust the police at all with all this. It used to be back in the day you had to search long and far in between to find a bad cop because A, there wasn't that many, and B, nobody became a cop to be a crook. Now bad people become police and they let them do it. Now it's not really. It's so sad, man. And if you think I'm being mean to the cops, I'm not. There's good cops out there. They're just not around. And if you start thinking I'm being a jerk for saying this, Google Sonia Massey. There's a bunch of stories like that. No criminal record, no drugs, single mom, shot in the face in her living room because she called the cops on a prowler. She was pouring a glass of tea and the cop shot her right in the face. He's in jail, but that doesn't bring Sonia back. There's a bunch of stuff like that, man. Something needs to change, but all I'm saying is all these wonderful thoughts I had about DNA. Sorry, my neighbor's riding by at 400 miles an hour on his lawnmower. All these things about DNA are not great. It's not. They're not. I mean, I would love to upload my stuff on there and learn about who I'm kin to, but almost makes you kind of pause, like, oh, Mr. Canny, yeah, we've looked in your DNA and you are fifth generation savant, and 3 of your uncles murdered gorillas, and you actually might be kin to a capybara. That would be my luck. That would be, oh, we found something in your DNA. The police will be right over. And I'm like, what? So all I'm saying is if you're in all this DNA stuff and all that, be careful. Be prepared, man. Don't freak. Some people are getting this information, they're losing their minds over it. They're going to find my DNA on that mower over there. That's what they're going to find.